How's it going, everybody? My name is Maciej Tusk, and today I'll be talking about reverbs and delays and how you can create these huge soundscapes for more ambient and cinematic tones of your guitar. First things first, what are these effects and how do they actually work? Let's start off with a delay. Delay records and plays back everything that is fed into it. So you have your original track and you can multiply it and move it in time to create different repetitions. Delays can get very complicated, but I'm gonna talk only about simple parameters that are most commonly used, so we can easily understand how does it work and how you can control it. So first of all, we have feedback that sets the number of repetitions that are gonna be played back. Then we have time that sets the difference in time between our original track and the repetitions. Then we have level, and that's how loud and prominent is going to be the effect on the overall sound. And also tone, this is the color of it, so how bright or dark the repetitions are going to get. Shorter delays help you to create this illusion that there's more than one guitar playing at once, and it makes the sound a bit bigger and fatter. So here's the example of the shorter delay. This is how my guitar sounds without anything yet. Is just the overdrive in front of the amplifier here. And that's with the delay. Longer delays can actually add some percussive elements to our parts, and even the simplest riff can sound a bit more complicated. And here's the example of slightly longer delay. So that's how it sounds without it. And that's with the delay. Quite pretty, isn't it? Next up, we have reverb. And reverb creates an impression of different spaces. So for example, imagine you're listening to a guitar in the room. What you're gonna hear first is gonna be direct sound from the guitar, but also you're gonna hear all these reflections bouncing off the walls coming to your ears. And this gives you an idea of what kind of space you're in, because every room reflects sound a bit differently depending on its size or surfaces that it's covered in. Rooms like the bedroom, for example, are gonna have shorter and darker reverb, but if you would play exactly the same sound in a cathedral, for example, that would allow the sound to spread much farther. And all these reflective surfaces like stone flooring, huge windows and high ceilings would also make reverb sound much brighter. So to create this effect, first we need to choose the type of reverb we want to get. We have room, hall, chamber, plate, spring, and many more. Next parameter we need to choose is time, so how long we want the reverb to ring out, and that also gives us the sense of how big is that space. Next up we have tone, that sets the color of the reverb, and that gives us the sense of the surfaces that are reflecting the sound. And next up there's level or mix, and relatively mix, that gives us the sense of how far the signal source is. Okay, so here's the example of a shorter reverb that is called studio. So it's gonna be kind of warm, by quite big space as well. So that's the sound without it. And that's with it. And now I'm going to show you an example of a longer reverb, which is called cathedral. It's going to be also brighter and, bigger. So here's the sound without it. And that's how it sounds with it. I hope that gives you a clearer overview of what each effect does. I think if you want to create more ambient and cinematic soundscapes, the best results could be achieved by just combining the two. Let me show you how I use them in my signal chain. So here's a simple setup at the moment. We have just an amplifier going to the cabinet. This is my custom impulse response for orange cabinet. But before that, we also have overdrive. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up a bit of a delay. Just something very simple. Mono, let's go. How quickly is that? Okay, that's quite a lot of feedback there. Let's go to 230, maybe, or 250. Okay, I'll leave it as it is now. Let's set up a reverb, and we want something big this time. So let's go with church. Let's see how that sounds. What are the settings now? Decay, okay. That sounds really nice. Make it slightly darker, but as you can see now, even though I'm splitting the signal, it's still a mono signal because there's no difference between left and right. At the moment I have it set up mono because I want to show you the difference. So what we can do is instead we can move these effects over here, and now what is going to happen is half of the signal going through all these effects, but the other half is not going to be affected by any of these time-based effects, and that allows us to still have dry signal on top of everything, and with that we don't really lose the clarity of our signal. So we do have this reverby sound going on in the background, but also on top we have the layer of our clean signal, so we still perceive this clarity. Okay, so here what I did now is I changed this rig a little bit. So what we have now is one reverb going with the quarter notes, and on the other side we have another reverb going with the 8 notes. So the quarter note one is going to cathedral reverb, and everything after is going to this long plate, and here's how it sounds like. Obviously, there's no right or wrong way of actually doing this. This is something that I really enjoy, just kind of sitting down and trying to find some crazy sounds. But be careful though, because it's quite easy to lose yourself in this and just spend hours and hours of doing that. So remember to eat and hydrate. That's everything from me today. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing for more videos like that in the future. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. I'll try to answer all of them. But yeah, that's it for today. Thanks a lot. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.